Hello everyone and welcome to Usually Fixing and Tinkering. This is just a little shout out, a big shout out, because finally today we've managed to reach, well, not 2,000 subscribers, it's saying 1,999 on my screen, so we need the extra one. Maybe by the time this video comes out it'll be 2,000. So it's a celebration of 2,000 subscribers in very quick succession. I think it's only taken me 8.5 months to get from 1,000 to 2,000. That 1,000 was the biggest hurdle you can ever imagine. It felt like an age. It felt like I was creeping up by one subscriber a day. But that's not important. Subscribers is not important, it's the views. And the views on my videos generically get very few because I basically nail quite a few niches, mainly automatics, and I'm not interested in modifications. And there's two things that really seem to get the views: manual cars that are fast, performance cars, and certainly ones with modifications, maybe a combination of all three. I do neither of those things. Performance, absolutely, I have absolutely no feeling towards performance cars whatsoever. It doesn't do anything for me. I just look at it and think, there's just absolutely nothing there for me. And I'm really proud and pleased that for me personally, and that's why I'm sympathetic to other people, is that I get my kicks from slow cars, not fast ones. Well, I say slow cars, the 45 is not a slouch. And that's really the niche that I hit on my channel. And I really am eternally grateful for all the support that every single one of you have given this channel. I really do say that because it's hard. Being a YouTuber, it's hard work, and I will be taking a more easier route towards the end of this year, where my channel will slightly change again to adapt to the changing environment around YouTube. And that's the next thing I'm going to come to, car YouTubing. I don't think it's a particularly sustainable thing, car YouTubing. I've seen the trend from when they started out, and you guys have as well. I presume you guys have also started watching YouTube around COVID time, lockdown, where we were all at home, and it seemed to be Mr. Hubnut, Furious Driving, and a couple of other channels were starting to sort of grow and make really good videos. And I kicked myself that I should have started back then, because that's when I was working on the Mark 1. But at that stage I had no impetus and no confidence to start any form of YouTube channel. Usually, and this is a problem, except for cars, most things that in the world that I tend to do, maybe apart from work as well, I tend to change my mind more than I change my pants. So committing to something and sticking with it, and it becoming a daily ritual and routine, almost ingrained part of my life, was nigh and impossible. So I never thought YouTube would ever work, which is a miracle why I've even got to this stage. It's almost been 2 years since I put out that first bloggy video that I did in my Ford Focus Mark 1, which was, at that point, I'd only done 2 Rover P6 videos previously, had about 5 subscribers because of that. So, you know, that's where I've come from, and it's a hard life. And the car community has definitely evolved because of YouTubing. Now everyone seems to be on YouTube. It seems to be a thing when you go to show now and people kind of sneer at you like, oh, it's another YouTuber. I've come to this show and I don't want to see people walking around with their smartphone and camera doing their blog. I think I do laugh at such people, because you really haven't got a clue the amount of effort that it goes into these videos. It's not someone just standing there with a camera. You have to actually think on your feet. You have to have a live commentary running all the time, and you have to be prepared to make the odd mistake and then be prepared to re-edit that in the edit. That's the amazing thing with editing, especially. So no, I don't think people really have a concept of how exhaustive this job is, and it is a job because I'm paid like every other monetized YouTuber. And what I've noticed in particular is, like I say, the change. There has been a certain change in the YouTube community, the car YouTube community, and that is, as someone who has actually viewed a lot of YouTubers recently, I've had a bit of spare time just to watch some other YouTubers and see what's out there. And I have to admit one thing, there isn't much out there. I don't think there's a great deal that I've seen that is really enticing. And the reason that I say that is because there's only so many years of watching car reviews, in particular, car shows, blogs from every Tom, Dick and Harry, including myself. Sorry about that. No apologies. Blogs are very easy for people to make, and people tend to listen to those people who they like watching. It's particularly if they make sense sometimes. But I tend to think these videos now are getting a bit long in the tooth, especially when you've seen the same sort of car review on the same sort of car done by 6-7 different people, which is why I like the niche of automatics, because most people just not dismiss automatics. It's just they're not really bothered in driving one. Well, I am. I'm not really bothered in driving manuals, to be honest with you. I don't know why I bothered getting a manual license. It's that bad. So I've hit a niche. I review cars. When I do car reviews, I review cars that actually nobody has reviewed before, not particularly the niche of being the automatic version. So I tend to keep it like that. I also try with my working videos when I'm working on the car to show you exactly what I'm doing, and not to sort of cut and skip. That does happen, and it is happening a bit more in my videos because I'm against time, but I'll try and make the important videos that you need to know, everything you need to see. Not a question of, oh, well, you need to do this and this and this. I'll show you how to do it while I'm doing it, if at all possible. Sometimes it isn't. And that's my niche, whereas other YouTubers do a cut and paste exercise, or some of them do a time lapse. I might do a few time lapses, but it won't be a regular thing, because what's that about? I don't want to watch a time lapse of someone going backwards and forwards like a yo-yo, like 100 miles an hour. What's the point in doing that? So I think there's certain niches that I've hit that other YouTubers aren't, and that's why you have to think about what you actually provide. And if you're not doing that, and you're just generically making normal car videos, then some blogs, but you haven't really got an identity, you're going to find yourself very short as a car YouTuber, because I think people like myself, and this is my feeling, and this is the feeling that I've had from other people who, again, all are car enthusiasts and watch other YouTubers as well as myself, is that things are getting a bit stale on the car YouTuber front because of all this. And I think there is an element of, I think it will wear out. I think the YouTubing thing will wear out. You may have noticed a lot of the bigger YouTubers really going heavy on the merch. It's because not as many people are watching their episodes. You can have 200, 300,000 subscribers, but it's your watch hours that dictate, and your views that dictate your income, especially the amount of time you actually watch an episode, because you're hitting those adverts, and therefore you're accruing revenue. It doesn't matter, because if the views have gone down, you're getting less income. And I've seen a trend where there's more merchandising goes on, there's more membership, Patreons, whatever you want to call it. I don't do any of that, because it's just not worth my time. And my purpose here is to grow, number one, a car community, number two, to do a blog on what I do on my cars on a day-to-day basis, and while I do that, to share knowledge that I know, and to share important bits of information that you need to know on all the cars that I own, because I'm personally invested in all of my cars, and that's the way I am with every car I've owned. I just don't believe in this thing where you treat a car like a tool. Well, it is a tool, but I don't treat it like a tool. I don't treat it like a spanner that I've just smashed around and abused, and it's got a bit of rust on it and scabbed up, and it's bits are chipping away and the ratchet's starting to skip. I don't treat my cars like that. I maintain them and service them properly, and that's the element of just looking. Whatever car you own, just look after it. And if you're not looking after the car, are you actually a car enthusiast? And two, are you actually do you actually like the car you own? So that's the sort of thing that I try and hit, and it's worked very nicely for me. It's a slow YouTube channel with very low views, and I think the sort of videos that I've made will stand the test of time. Time will tell, obviously, but I do think that people like to look at videos and probably come back to the same videos again because of some important information that they may have missed. And that's what I try and get across in all my episodes. You know, it's really nice that when YouTubers do these lovely polished car reviews. But truly honest with you, I only ever watched a couple of reviews twice. And that's because I thought they were really good episodes and I watched it again, but that's it. Whereas people continuously are going back to some of my early Focus Mark 1 videos and are commenting on them. And every day, one of my oldest videos is getting 15 to 20 views a day. Now, that could be new people, but I think it's old people. I've had people come to me saying they've watched it again because there's so much knowledge that I've jam-packed in these episodes. They've had to go and watch it again to find that piece of information. And that, for me, is where episodes on YouTube will stand the test of time. And where I think most YouTubers are going to come unstuck in the future, where everything's going to get so stale, it's just going to die. My channel is going to continue because that's what it is. It's an information and knowledge channel. And above all else on this channel, knowledge is power. And I've hopefully influenced people to save Rover 45s, to save Focus Mark 1s, when they would have probably gone to scrap because nobody had the confidence to just get stuck in. Fiesta Mark 3s is a different niche. It's a classic niche. It's already a classic, and there's not many of them around. And there are extremely few of them left. Forget the automatics, every single one of them, Mark 3s. And Mark 3.5s are also really scarce as well. And it's a shame because most of them that I see are in really poor condition, which makes me determined to try and make Ruby as good a car as that she can possibly be. But anyway, I'm going to leave this episode here and I'm going to start waffling. Thank you so much to everyone who's supported the channel over the last few years. I hope to meet some of you. Some people have asked me where I'm going. You need to give me a private message if you know where to find me, especially my email address. I will not divulge specifically where I'm going. I don't like to let people know about my whereabouts for obvious reasons, and for a few reasons actually. But anyway, I will speak to you soon, and you take care, look after yourselves, and plenty more episodes to come, I can tell you. Take care.